You know, I've heard that before. Not just in the zip code. That's definitely not a total compliment. But hey, I mean, T.O. said, talk good about me, talk bad about me, just talk about me, I guess. Right?
So I got something on shoes.
You never know. Well, do you put people on ice for the Super Bowl? Because, I mean, every game we play is the most important to us. So we're working through stuff. You're trying to, we were trying to avoid what ultimately happened. I think the training staff and Rob did a tremendous job trying to be proactive. We'll operate with caution, but not, we'll hopefully take those lessons as learned and not as much as like, okay, now we have to wait 2 weeks until after he wants to play. So we're just going to progress, take that day by day. Javon, you're talking about one of the better players at his position relative to the whole league. So he's very important to our team. Fortunately, we have some very good players, across the board. And, in the NFL season, your depth is challenged. So we'll do right by him. He's eager, but he's also one of the wisest. I was probably 10% as wise as he is at, what is he, 23 or so he understands where we're coming from, and he's looking forward to getting back out there. But we won't, mortgage the rest of the season, to risk. It's all about like risk reward. There's certain times with injuries that you can't, it's kind of a roll of the dice. If resting or playing is like worse, you can't really judge that. And there's certain times that you're like, wow, this is pretty risky. So if it's risky, we'll just keep tabs on that. And there's a lot of people doing that. So it won't just be my eyes. Well, I think at first, sitting in my office, I can remember it like it was yesterday. All I took from my interaction with him is a very ambitious, goal-oriented, driven professional athlete. And then, I kind of try to put myself in people's shoes, and I think this is, and it's never going to get like, it's never going to draw tears of sorrow, but I think it's a shame that people overlook. It's great to be picked in the first round as a 20-year-old. Awesome. There's also a lot of burden with that. And in that, every person that gets drafted every year in the first round, I know one thing they don't want to be. And so everybody wants to be their best. And so then, you look at the film, you match it with the person that you're meeting. And I think it's important to treat every individual with full trust, because I'm tough enough if they break trust. You treat them with full trust and see, give them the opportunity. Don't harbor past things against people that have nothing to do with those things. And to me, there's like this guy is playing multiple positions, and he started doing it before he legally could drink alcohol. It's a ton of weight, and you have a lot of people talking. It's heavy is the crown, as they say, and you just have a lot of people interjecting on what you are. And I don't know about you guys, but were you a finished product at 20 years old? I mean, this is not a 20-year-old Coach McDaniel. You should take the reins away from me as the head coach, because I don't, I'm not ready for that. So I think I was more meeting him, understanding where his motivation was and the yearning to have just to be coached, you know, who am I to put a ceiling on that or to say he is this, that, or the other? So you keep an open mind and let people, you know, take it upon themselves to dictate what the narrative is or what they can be. And, you know, I think this year in particular, like he had a strong off season. We felt good about him in 2022. You have an injury right when you're feeling like, hey, I can prove a lot of these people wrong. Then you just got to sit and listen more. And what you're seeing now is, I mean, it is the reason why you do it, to see those type of journeys. It's much like, you know, the ones we talk about with Tua all the time. There's plenty of journeys like that, and it's really awesome to see someone take the reins of deciding who they are and not listening to other people along the way. You know, and I think it's very, very hard to do. You know, unfortunately, this room of impeccable character aren't the only voices out there. So, like, you're getting now the journey of a professional athlete is insane because you have millions of reporters, and it's hard. So to see him flourish in that, to see the job that he's done, and what's awesome is that whole room feels a part of that. You know, it's awesome for me to say, I believe in you, Austin. But when he, you know, this is just my opinion, when he really believed it was probably after the second week of phase 2 in 2022. Teron Armstead, a guy that has done it at the highest level for literally half of his life, saying, no, dude, you can be different. That's what you're feeling amongst the team, is there's a bunch of shared journeys. A lot of people feel a part of that. A lot of people are proud of that. He's probably got the least exuberance of everybody today about it because that's not how he got it. He's thinking about Wednesday, technique, fundamentals, assignments, Tennessee Titans. So it's really, you're really happy for people to earn everything they're getting, and it's not his fault that he was 20 years old and has a lot of athleticism, but he hasn't made that a crutch, or he hasn't lived in woe is me. He's taken the reins, and I think that is something that epitomizes what I think this sport's supposed to be about. Yes. No, it's. I mean, you're defining your team real time by those type of investments, and if you want people to come to work every day and decide their own level of happiness because of their accountability to themselves and their teammates, and a complete devotion to what their responsibility is, then you should reward that. And you know, you wish there wasn't a salary cap, and there's a lot of guys in the locker room. That's what's really cool about what's going on. There's a lot of guys that have. It's hard to be an NFL player and not have in the back of your mind, you know, like us all, like, you know, I need to earn a living and at my dream. But with the way business works and how important these investments are and the way negotiations go, they don't all happen at once. And I don't think I haven't felt a single person feel anything but just complete, I don't know, satisfaction, pride, just pumped up that because they've seen it every day. Like this is a guy that fully commits, that decided on his own to be all in, to believe in, everything we're doing here, and then to believe in Butch and Lem and Mike Judge, and it's cool when people are teammates. The coaches give him the right information, gives him the tools, and he takes those tools and helps him fulfill his dream. He can throw the ball far with and they like to do a lot of it. I think they have currently the Titans offense. Little known fact, I think they lead the league in plus 20-yard throws, 22% of their passes, I believe. You can check me on that because I'm pretty sure it's right. Are of that depth, so they challenge you, and it's cool to watch a guy, come into a team, with other players that are very much capable. And what I've learned from afar is that it's not about him. He was just chopping wood, but you can see a lot. You can learn a lot by just watching and listening, and you watch how guys play with him on the field, and you can tell he's earned the respect of veteran players. And that's you either have that or you don't. As a quarterback, there's nowhere to hide. So, it's cool to watch him progress, and I think he is capable of making, I think, pretty much every throw. They have some guys that can really catch the ball that you probably heard of, and you go teams. We can attest. We've had plenty of times that we're going through some adversity, but you can tell by the way that the Tennessee Titans play, in terms of how hard they play and their passion, that it's just a matter of time that team is at the top of the division with Coach Vrabel. So to be a part of that team and to own the respect of his teammates, I think says everything. Thank you. Phenomenal. There was a play in particular that I would argue is, and you guys know how difficult of a catch I thought Tyreek Hill's Willie Mays was, right? It equally as impressive, and probably as rare, was, I can't even remember what quarter. I have too much Tennessee Titan on my brain. But there was a zero blitz, and he had a long ball down. He was in zero bump, and he turned, saw the ball, and then timed up at the point of attack the PBU. I think that play is absolutely incredible. It didn't go viral like Tyreek's did, but you learn a lot about, I've learned a lot about X this year. You learn about what's important to him. And it has probably gone under the radar to the public and just the narrative, but it sure hasn't gone under the radar to the team and his teammates. He's playing. He's taken his game to another level. And he's really enjoying it. So then you're like, oh well, you just don't know. You just learn about people on the fly, new circumstances, new situations. You don't know how that's going to play out. You believe that he'll embrace, a fellow Pro Bowl caliber player and a new defense and all that stuff. But watching it happen, X is everything you want. He wants to win. That's all he cares about doing. He's very prideful in doing his job for his teammates. But it's not about him. So It's been real cool. I think he's really he's a captain for a reason, and I know for as long as he wants to play, his teammates will continue vote. I mean, he's just really it's been really cool to be a part of. Those guys push each other every day, which makes practice awesome, which is good because it's the most important thing of our lives. Super creepy that everybody knows personal conversations, but not your fault. No, I mean, so I'm sorry, what? No, literally, what are we talking about? Oh, I mean, I grew up, like probably the most impactful player, or one of the most impactful people of my life is Michael Jordan. I was born in '83. One of my first sports memories viewing was one of those postseason matchups. I think maybe it was '88. I can't remember, but it was against the Lakers, and so sports start with him as the pinnacle of performance, and then my entire maturation process from boy to grown man like you see today. No, seriously, I'm grown. He continues to do things that other people can't. So you pay attention to stuff, and I've seen him have a 5 for 20-something and shooting game, and then in the fourth quarter with everything on the line, without blinking, he takes a shot again. That, from a young age, really impacted me. So I have paid attention to those specific players, which is why I can. And there's a commonality with all of these high performance athletes that I think is overly obvious now, where you have everybody wants to do well. Everyone has things every day that they're not happy with. And so how you handle that is everything. It's not about how much you succeed. It's about how the invariable failure that will happen. What do you do with that? And because there's going to be emotion, especially when you care. And the point is not failing. The point is taking that and making that failure a triumph. So I love seeing that in a practice. I get fired up when a bad play happens immediately, only because that's something, I can go down the line. You guys know my story. There's a ton of stuff that if you're thinking through my life in that moment, there's a lot of things that have happened that at the moment seemed catastrophic. But then you look back on it and it's like, wow, that was the best thing that ever happened. That applies to everyone. It's not just professional athletes. It's just, one of the little life hacks that I think if you can really focus on, you get over the fact of, listen, no one expects to be infallible, so then why commit to that, And I'm seeing Tua in an incredible fashion. You want to talk about a coachable person. These are philosophical, psychological things that you're talking about. It's one thing to hear it, but in the course of a year and a half, I was really fired up because he captured it. It was the right balance of I'm frustrated, but he wasn't overthinking what had happened that caused him the frustration. He was locked in on the moment, and that's what you have to be. That's never going away. Well, there's a lot of different philosophies, man coverage gives you a lot of advantageous situations with regard to the rest of the team, where you have a firmer fitting front for the run, and there's a lot of people that look at it like, well, you have to have the right play called to make you pay. So I'm never surprised. We see man every game, but I think I think I'm more surprised when there's not when they're not hedging their bet to protect themselves sometimes. But that's just football. You can't. It's 11 people on the field, so they're always man coverage gives you a lot of versatility as a defense. Guys will try to play it as best they can. We wouldn't be talking about that if Tua hadn't been locked in all week with Coach Bevel and recognized the situation, and then their nonverbal communication, if they weren't on the same page, like, it's hard to do. So it's not like every team will try to play in man coverage as competitors. I know Tua and Tyreek know that as well. So they're looking for those opportunities to make people pay for it. And if you think by any stretch I'm trying to dissuade people from playing man, yards are hard. Running with the ball in your hands, he's really fast. It's a lot easier on a lot of people. So, every game we have to prove that we can beat man coverage. This is the way you have to look at it. There's, I think we'll see those opportunities each and every week, at least once in a while, based on situation. And that's why Tua and Tyreek wake up every morning to go work together, is because they know each and every week they'll have their opportunities to make plays.